In response to the interest in the highly debated issue of the new theatre, the European Commission issued a letter today stating that the reconstruction of the new theatre does not affect the Stabilisation and Association Agreement. Basha will travel on a one-day visit to Germany to present the proposal for vetting of politicians to the Bundestag. Before leaving for Berlin, Basha held a meeting of the parliamentary group and met with their allies. The European Women's Volleyball Championship in category under-19s has, for the first time, been held in Tirana. Mayor Veliaj attended the final match between Italy and Russia, saying the capital welcomes activities of this magnitude. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Monday the 10th of September 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country, translated into English. The European Commission welcomes the decision of the Albanian authorities to amend the special law for the construction of the National Theatre. In a letter addressed to the Secretary-General of the Council of Ministers, Angel Agaci, emphasised the positive aspect of opening calls for all interested private companies to present their projects on this initiative. The Commission estimates that no principle of the Stabilisation and Association Agreement has been violated up until this point. However, given the concerns raised over a lack of competition or open tender, it is required that the fundamental European principles be respected. The special law, as adopted, foresees the predetermination of an open tender without raising an application process. This raises concerns regarding the respect for the principles of non-discrimination and other EU public procurement principles, such as equal treatment and open competition. Therefore, even though no violation of the Stabilisation and Association Agreement has been established at this stage, the Commission continues to encourage the Albanian authorities to proceed only further on the basis of EU public procurement principles, ensuring non-discriminatory access to the market. In respect of this, the Commission welcomes the position of the ruling authorities to amend the special law to introduce an open call for the implementation of the National Theatre Development Project, where each private company has the opportunity to make a proposal for the project, the letter stated. Further, the Commission underlines the importance of setting clear, transparent and non-discriminatory criteria for the selection to be made in implementing the law on the theatre. Also, the EU executive remains at the disposal of the emerging authorities to make further clarifications and to guide in this regard. At the Socialist Party's parliamentary group meeting, Taulont Bala told the Socialist MPs that the Democratic leader, Basha's proposal for vetting of politicians is a proposal set for failure from the outset and simply more propaganda by the opposition leader. The proposal has been filed by the Democrats to the Assembly, but for the head of the Socialist Party parliamentary group, it is nothing more than a barrier to justice reform. For the Socialists, the justice reform already guarantees the vetting of politicians and members of the vetting bodies waiting to be set up as special anti-corruption structures, as well as the National Bureau of Investigation. These organs, according to Bala, will have the right to investigate politicians as well as their family members, a factor which was missing in Basha's proposal. However, even after the rejection of this law, Bala has stated that the Socialist Party remains open to any proposal that does not affect the success of the justice reform. Meanwhile, the parliamentary group has confirmed the proposal of the party leader, Prime Minister Edi Rama, for the dismissal of the MP for Kurbin, Jetan Jetani. Shortly after proposing the vetting of politicians, the Democratic Party leader Basha travelled to Germany for a one-day visit for meetings with the Bundestag. Basha will inform the German political factors of the political situation and the opposition's platform, including vetting of politicians, justice, free elections and releasing the economy from monopolies. This issue was also discussed at the Democratic Party parliamentary group meeting, where it was decided that 4 working groups, consisting of MPs and field experts, will be set up, while by Wednesday a comprehensive document will be drafted. The working groups will draw up for each a strategic document for each pillar of their platform that will then be presented to and discussed with citizens. Meanwhile, the opposition continues conditional relations with the Assembly, not being a part of parliamentary committees and sessions. Even in the next session, the opposition will not be in the Assembly, but the envoy will hold meetings of parliamentary groups in the city of Durrës with the same strategy as in Shkodra and Elbasan. Meetings of opposition parliamentary groups in several cities of the country come as a message of resistance against crime, which, according to the opposition, is supported by the current government. The Economy Commission has left in force the changes to the profit tax law for gambling institutions. Minister Arben Ahmetai explained that the tax rate remains 15% and that the only difference is the unification of the tax, including the National Lottery that previously paid a reduced rate at 10%. The finance chief warned all gambling companies that on January 1st they must depart from residential centres, a move from which there will be no return. The head of the Economy Commission, Veliaj, went further by proposing additional increases to the tax rate for gambling entities. Let's review their rate of taxation. I have a clear position in this regard. The progressive tax on capital income should go further and, above all, the progressive tax on income from gambling without any discussion should reach up to 50%, added Veliaj. The law on gambling will now pass for approval in Parliament. The number of students attending schools in Mutt has halved in just 4 years. In 2014, 12,000 pupils were taught in schools across the district, whereas this September, student registrations are expected to total no more than 5,900. In 2004, we had 12,000 students, and in the fall of this year, there are just 5,900 students. It is foreseen that this number will continue to reduce. This has meant that the number of students in classrooms has reduced and we have had to offer collective classes, said the Education Officer's responsible person in Mutt, Ariana Rami. Halving the students within such a short period of time has forced the closure of 14 schools with collective classes across the municipality of Mutt. Rama says with concern that this way of teaching was simply turning many students into functional illiterates. We did a literacy test and we found that there were some very poor results. The indicator is that all children who have been in collective classes have come up with poor results, said Ariana Rami. The closure of these schools in the district of Mutt has also found the understanding of the parents, as the Education Department will take over the transport to other schools. We have schools with 2 or 3 children, others with 7 to 11 children, and this is for the entire school. These are not the optimal conditions for children to be studying under, said Ariana Rami. Meanwhile, in the municipality of Mutt, the latest preparations for the new school year are being made. Institutions are being reconstructed, as well as the free textbooks being distributed as per the government's decision. The Tirana Marathon is not just a race for the experts, it's, on the contrary, also for amateurs. They're also encouraged to be a part of it, and even many see it in terms of tourism because of the competition participants from different countries of the world. This year, the Tirana Marathon will take place on October 7, and so far from the recorded registrations, participants will be made up of 15 different countries from across the world. The sporting tradition this year will have a novelty on the itinerary. It will also include the area of the Lake of Tirana, which has seen the recent addition of running tracks. The Tirana City Promotion Director at the municipality of Tirana, Yolinda Dame, explained that the itinerary included 20 of the capital's streets. The fun run, a running race for kids, will take place on the day before, on October 6th. For those who are more serious about sporting activities, there is the further encouragement of competitors through the offering of prizes. For the first semi-marathon winners, the prize is €2,500, while the winner of the competition for the 10-kilometre race receives €1,500. Olympic Park in Tirana, for the first time ever, held the European Women's Volleyball Finals for the under-19s. The Italy-Russia finals game, which took place on Sunday, was attended by the Mayor of Tirana, Veliaj, who was also accompanied by the President of the Albanian Volleyball Federation, Erlind Pelumbi. Veliaj stressed that organising such a championship is an indication that Tirana has the potential to welcome major international activities. I would also like to thank all the friends of the Albanian Volleyball Federation who have done a fantastic job to welcome a European Youth Championship for volleyball in Tirana. It shows that Tirana can be the first choice across a range of things. We are the #1 in hospitality and now chosen for extraordinary events of this magnitude, said Erlind Veliaj. Mayor Veliaj said that the priority of the municipality of Tirana is also the development of sport in schools. The greatest benefit is for boys and girls in Albania to see how Tirana can not only host such activities, but to ensure that in the near future, we also have our own teams present at the champion level. We have started sports in schools, and I believe many boys and girls will choose volleyball as a way to engage in sport after class. Perhaps not everyone will be for our national team, but they will learn how to play as part of a team and will maintain a fantastic tradition that the Volleyball Federation of Albania has, said Veliaj. President of the Albanian Volleyball Federation, Erlin Pilumbi, said that this activity of international size was made possible thanks to the support of the head of the municipality, Veliaj, as well as his staff. That's all for the English edition this evening. Thank you for watching the English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. On behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.